put them there.
It creates a total psychological and professional crisis for him. I mean, how...
Welcome back to the deep dive. So today we are plunging into the source material for a novel that I think completely rewrites the rules for a major character. We're talking about Alex Cross, Soneji's ultimate reckoning. And this isn't just another crime story.
Not at all.
No. This is a devastating revision of history for one of the most established detectives out there, Alex Cross. Our mission is really to dissect how this story uncovers this long-hidden conspiracy. A lie, basically, that was orchestrated by his greatest enemy, Gary Soneji. Okay, let's unpack this.
I think it's so important to start with that title, Ultimate Reckoning.
Right?
It is not hyperbole. The sources frame this as like a deliberate act of rewriting the series' own history. We're grappling with this really unsettling idea that a past victory won that basically made Cross who he is might have been based on a complete and total lie.
A lie that challenges everything. His memory, his skills.
His entire legacy.
Yeah.
It calls the validity of his past accomplishments into question.
And that lie, that shadow, it all comes from Gary Soneji, the killer from Along Came a Spider. And even though Soneji's been gone for years, his presence here is just, it's terrifying. It shows a level of manipulation that honestly nobody saw coming.
That is the hook, and it is absolutely chilling. Soneji's evil is shown to be far more sophisticated. It's much more long-reaching than just a string of murders. He wasn't just a killer.
No, he was an architect.
He was a master manipulator of evidence, of perception, of psychology. The material suggests he wasn't just trying to win one battle. He was building a system, a kind of enduring deception designed to break Alex Cross long after Soneji himself was dead.
A posthumous attack. So let's start where the novel starts, with the inciting discovery. In the present day, you have detectives Alex Cross and his partner, John Sampson. They get called out to a scene.
Right, and it leads them to this remote, isolated cabin.
Classic setup.
It's the kind of setting that just screams hidden secrets,
Yeah.
But the real discovery happens when they find a hidden room inside that cabin. The sources are very clear. This isn't just some hideout. It's a shrine. It's like a monument to Soneji's evil, just frozen in time.
And in this shrine, they find the artifacts, the keys that unlock this entire conspiracy.
That's it. They find physical trophies from his crimes, which is horrific enough. But the most critical piece of evidence is Soneji's handwritten journal.
And the title?
Oh, the title is chilling. It's called Profiles in Homicidal Genius. It's basically Soneji's murder book. It's his final confession, but it's also a boast. It's his last will and testament of malice.
The second Cross sees that title, that has to be the moment. The assumption that Soneji's reign was truly over just, it must completely fall apart.
It does, instantly. The discovery suggests Soneji's influence is reaching out from the grave. I mean, the closure Cross thought he had, that big victory from years ago, it was an illusion. It was an illusion Soneji allowed him to have. And this journal isn't just a record of solved crimes, it's the blueprint for an unsolved deception. A deception Soneji built right into the fabric of Cross's own life.
Wow. And that realization takes us to the core of the story, which is just, it's devastating for Cross. Because this journal, it doesn't just list Soneji's known crimes.
No.
It hints that he framed someone else for a totally separate murder.
Exactly. The journal has these disturbing details that suggest the very first major case Alex Cross ever cracked. The case that defined him as a rookie was based on a lie.
His first big win? The one that would have given him all the confidence, the reputation.
The one that launched his entire career. And that's precisely why Soneji targeted it. The core implication here, the emotional engine of the whole story, is that the person Cross helped put away decades ago might have been completely innocent.
Framed by Soneji.
Framed by Soneji, yeah, as part of a much larger, much earlier psychological game. Soneji didn't just want to get away with murder. He wanted to corrupt Cross's sense of justice from the very beginning.
So if you think about that, it means Soneji didn't just leave behind murder victims. He left behind a victim of the system, and Cross was the one who put them there.
It creates a total psychological and professional crisis for him. I mean, how do you trust your own instincts, your own judgment, when the very foundation of your success was built by your greatest enemy?
You can't.
You can't. And to really show the weight of this, the novel uses this brilliant structural device, dual timelines.
Okay, so tell us how those work. It sounds like the past is actively collapsing into the present.
That's a perfect way to put it. The narrative switches back and forth between two periods. First, you have the present day, That's Cross and Sampson in the cabin, going through the journal and just slowly absorbing the unreadable horror of Soneji's plan.
And then it flashes back.
The moment Cross translates a key entry, boom, we're back 20 years earlier.
To the rookie case.
Exactly. We revisit that first major homicide. The sources really emphasize that Cross was raw back then. He was relying on pure instinct, just desperate to prove himself. And that case, which was so neatly solved and filed away, starts to just painfully unravel as his older self reads Soneji's own words.
Here's where it gets really interesting, because as these two timelines converge, Cross is forced to realize that it's not just about Soneji, it's about his own mistakes. He sees that so much of what he believed about that first case, the facts, the evidence, the motive, was, and I'm quoting here, manufactured.
It's the ultimate psychological trap, and it spans decades. Soneji knew that getting a conviction wasn't the end. It was the beginning of his real revenge. He was playing a much bigger game, making sure that even if Cross caught him one day,
the victory would be hollow.
Exactly. Cross would always carry that seed of doubt. The knowledge that his first great success came at this unacceptable moral price.
And that completely shifts the story away from a normal police procedural. It becomes all about these themes of guilt and memory and psychological warfare.
Absolutely. The narrative forces Cross and you, the reader, to confront the fragility of memory, the danger in assumptions, and the horrible idea that justice was subverted in a case everyone thought was closed. It asks a terrifying question: what happens when the system works? But the truth it found was a lie engineered by the real killer.
This has to deepen Cross's character so much. He can't just be the brilliant crime solver anymore.
No, he becomes a man wrestling with profound guilt, with this need for atonement. All his past decisions, which he made with the best intentions as a rookie, now come back to haunt him. The knowledge that he might have helped destroy an innocent person's life. It's a crisis of conscience that just hangs over the entire story.
So the rivalry with Soneji is totally reframed. It's not cat and mouse.
No, not anymore. It's a psychological web. Soneji's true genius wasn't in his body count. It was in his ability to manipulate the very facts that built Cross's identity. He laid these traps long before Cross even knew his name. Soneji wasn't just planning his next murder. He was planning Cross's eventual breakdown.
So if the source material is right, the stakes here are completely different from a normal thriller. It's not about stopping a crime that's about to happen.
That's right. The stakes are personal. They're psychological, not just physical. The central question is no longer, can Cross catch the killer? It's, did Cross ever really catch Soneji? Or did he just serve Soneji's ultimate purpose by putting an innocent person away?
That concept, the idea of a manufactured truth, that's the real horror here, isn't it? It's not the gore.
Precisely. The horror is in the betrayal, in this judgment. It's in the complete shattering of his confidence. Cross has to accept that justice, this thing he's built his whole life around, isn't some solid truth. It's fragile. It can be bent and corrupted. And the weight of realizing you may have ruined a life while thinking you were doing good. That is the ultimate reckoning.
Which brings us to why this deep dive matters so much, especially for anyone who's followed this series for years. This isn't just a new case, this is rewriting a huge piece of his origin story.
It fundamentally changes his origin story. And for a long-running series, that is maybe the boldest move you can make. It forces the characters, and importantly, it forces the readers to go back and question history they thought was settled. It changes how you look at every success Cross has had since.
And from a narrative standpoint, what does that do? Why bother tearing down your hero's foundation like that?
Well, it gives the series a renewed freshness, a moral complexity it might not have had. By bringing Soneji's influence back, even from the grave through this journal, the story shifts its focus. It's less about action and more about consequences, about regret, about the incredibly difficult path to atonement. The sources call it emotionally heavy because it's about something harder than catching a killer.
It's about repairing an injustice from the past.
Yes. It turns the hero from this, almost mythic fighter of justice into a scarred, fallible human being who's wrestling with a 20-year-old mistake.
A mistake that just got bigger over time.
Right. It just proves Soneji's ultimate destructive power. Even dead, he can still corrupt the memory and the moral standing of his enemy. The investigation isn't about closing a case anymore. It's about trying to salvage the past and maybe save a piece of Cross's own soul. which Soneji tried to destroy with one perfectly placed lie.
So what does this all mean? When we look at all the source material, the biggest takeaway seems to be that the real horror isn't the crime itself. It's the discovery that your entire foundation, your truth, your success, was all just manufactured by your enemy, a psychological trap set years and years ago.
Exactly. The truth was just the last weapon in Soneji's arsenal.
Yeah.
And that leaves a really big question for you, the listener, to think about. If a detective's most defining early case, the foundation of his career, can be proven to be a lie, a calculated deception, then what level of confidence can we ever really have in a so-called closed case? And for Alex Cross himself, how do you even begin to atone for a mistake that cost an innocent person 20 years of their life? Especially when you made that judgment with absolute sincerity at the time. That question of atonement, is the haunting core of this ultimate reckoning.
Grab Return of the Spider by James Patterson, now on sale, $23.95. Don't miss this chance and build good habit and achieve remarkable results. Buy now today.
Like and subscribe for more Bookhaven podcasts.